Hi, quickly jumping in the beginning of the video to say that this footage was extracted from a larger video, so it may have a few references that aren't specific to the headband, but I just wanted to make a video that was a little more concise and specifically if you just want to make the headband and don't want to worry about the made garments. So I hope this video is helpful, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Hi, welcome to Once Upon a Stitch Nook and my desk where the creativity happens. So today we're going to be doing the sunflower chain, which I will be showing you with yellow and brown yarn, and then after that I'll show you how I make a border around it using green yarn. So we'll get started with our brown yarn. You're going to use a 2.25 millimeter hook, and for disclaimer, these are, wait a minute. Yes, these two are a weight 2 yarn. This one I think is a 3. It's a little chunkier. You don't have to. You can make them all match, but I do. This was just the color I wanted, and I also like it gives a little more plush to the middle center of the sunflower. So we are going to start simply with a little circle. Get the hair out of the way. So you can do a magic ring or loop if you prefer. I've yet to really get that down, so I'm going to do a chain 2. You would do a chain 1 if you do a magic loop. And then we're going to half double crochet into that first chain here, second from your hook, 8 times. So 8 half double crochets. Make sure I get all the yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And on the 8th we want to do a color change, so I'm not going to finish off the half double crochet. I'm going to wrap the yarn and push it to the back and bring in the yellow to join. So the yellow, I'm going to do that last yarn over, pull through to finish that stitch. Just I find it makes it cleanest when we color change here, and slip stitch into the first stitch. So you'll see we'll have a little V at the top that is in yellow. And then from here, this is a bit of the tricky part, at least to visually understand. We want to go back into the previous stitch in the back loop. We're going to slip stitch into it. So I kind of orient myself from the sideways in the back a bit, then chain 2 like that. And then in that back loop only, whoops, I'm catching too much, you're going to do a double crochet like so. I'm going to tighten my yellow yarn a bit, and then catching this loop but also going into the front loop of the next stitch here, the front loop only, leaving the back loop. Oh, I'm sorry, we're doing a treble crochet, so yarn over twice. You don't have to catch this, but I tend to, like so. Do a treble crochet in the front loop only, then you'll chain 3 like that, slip stitch into the top of the treble crochet. This is creating a peacoat, which will make the little tip of the flower petal. I'm not doing that correctly. There we go. And then you're going to do another treble crochet into the same front loop only. There. Double crochet into the front loop only, same one. Going to chain 2 and slip stitch into that front loop only. And this concludes our first petal, as you see there. Now we're going to go behind the petal into that back loop we've been ignoring. And I like to have the yarn behind the hook this way, so when I'm slip stitching, the yarn is behind me as I yarn over and pull through. We're going to chain 2, and then we're going to repeat that process. We're double crocheting in that back loop. Then we're going to go into the next stitch, front loop only, and treble crochet. Like so. Chain 3. slip stitch into the top of the treble crochet, treble treble crochet again into that front loop only, double crochet into that front loop only, chain 2, and then slip stitch into that front loop only. If I can get a good slip stitch. There we go. So you see we now have 2 petals overlapping a bit, and that's going to create a nice fan effect. And I'm just going to show you once more, maybe a little faster. You're going to repeat that. So you go into the back loop behind that petal, you chain 2, you double crochet into that back loop. Then you're going to treble crochet into the next front loop, chain 3 and slip stitch to make the peacoat, treble crochet again, double crochet, all in the front loop, chain 2, and then slip stitch. And then you're going to repeat that till you have 8 petals. I'll pick up with you on the last one so you can see how we join. But just keep going into the back loop, working into the front loop, and then so forth. Alright, I have done 7 petals and I have 1 more left to go. So I'm going to do my last slip stitch into the back loop. Oh. There we go, chain 2, double crochet into that back loop. Then we're going to treble crochet into the last front loop. Like so, chain 2, chain 3, slip stitch into the treble crochet, double crochet, losing grip on my yarn here, and then chain 2, and then you're going to slip stitch into that front loop, like so. And so you see you kind of have that overlap. Then you're going to cut your yarn. What I like to do, I'm going to pull that out, and then I'm going to poke my hook through at the base of the next petal, and I'm going to pull the yarn there to help it overlap. Give that a tug, and you see how that creates the overlap effect. Like so, and then you're just going to weave in the back all your loose ends. So go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to show you how to join your sunflowers. Alright, I have done the same thing. I've done my center and 2 petals, and usually at the number 2. You can technically do this with at the beginning 2, the last 2, but I tend to do it after I've done 2 petals. I'm going to start the next one, kind of carrying over some of this yarn with me. So I'm going to slip stitch into the back petal, chain 2, double crochet, then come to the front petal. I'm going to do my treble crochet to the front petal, and then I'm going to chain 2. At this point, I'm going to give this some room. And since this is the first one, no need to worry, but if it was already attached, let's say it was attached by these 2, you'd want to come over to the opposing 2, so the third one here. So for an example, let's go into that one, and I'm going to insert into the peacoat there, because that's the tip of the flower, and we want to join it, tip the petal, and we want to join it there. So I'm going to insert from the right side to the back. I'm going to pick up the loop, I'm going to tighten it now, just bring it through, and then chain 1. So you now see we've done the full chain 3 as usual, and then you'll do your usual slip stitch into the treble crochet, and then you will continue the rest of the petal as normal. You'll do your treble crochet, double crochet, chain 2, and slip stitch into the front loop. Then you'll go and start your next petal by slip stitching in the back loop from behind, chain 2, double crochet into that back loop, then come forward to the next front loop with your treble crochet, one chain 2, and we're going to join one more. So insert into the picot, bring the loop through, chain one, slip stitch, and then just finish that petal as usual. And then the rest is just the regular flower. So at this point, you're going to do all your chains like this one, just attaching it on one side to the previous flower. That'll be starting to develop a chain for you. And then I'll show you how you can join it if you're doing this for the round. But similar principle, you would just join it at 4 points instead of 2. But for sake of extra visuals, I will show that to you here in a little bit. But for now, just work around your flower and develop your chain as long as you want it. Our straight chain, so this will be an example for the headband. So what I like to do, let's scoot that away, let's bring you down. What I like to do is start in the third away from the join when you're holding it up like so. I'm going to join here, so just poke in your picot, and then you're going to chain one and then single crochet in that picot like so. Then you're going to chain 3, then you're going to single crochet in the next picot like so. Now this is where we consider our corner. So here you're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet in the next picot like so. Chain 3, single crochet in the next picot. Now you'll notice we have this big gap between them, and we're going to bridge that by chaining 3. We're going to double crochet into the joined petals, into the joined picot. So you can kind of pick a picot and double crochet into it like so. So you see how that's looking. Then you're going to chain 3, single crochet into the next picot, chain 3 again, single crochet into the next picot, chain 3, and double crochet into the joined picots again. And so you're going to do that all the way till you reach the next corner. So you're going to notice we're going to work until the last 2 petals here, and then we're going to work a corner here. So just go ahead and do that chain 3, single crocheting in picots, and then double crocheting into the joined picots until you reach that point. Alright, I've worked to my corner point. I've worked into 2 of the petals on the last flower. And then I'm going to chain 5, single crochet into the next picot, chain 3. So this is along the side. Single crochet into the next picot. Then we have another corner. So we're going to chain 5 again. And then go back to how we did the other side. You're going to single crochet into the picots, chain 3, and then double crochet into the joined picots, all with a chain 3 in between them. So just do that until you reach the last corner. Oops. And so here we have 1 gap left after we work into our last petal, and that is our last corner. So we're going to chain 5 and then slip stitch into that first single crochet like so. So you see this is what it looks like, at least on the short band. Of course, it'd be longer if you're doing your belt. And then from here, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet 3 into the chain. This is the little side chain. I'm just going to work over my tail as well. Okay, and then in the corner, what you do is you single crochet 3 into the chain, to the chain space. Then you chain 1 and then single crochet 3 more into that chain space. So that'll develop your little sharper corner. and then all the way down until you reach the next corner. Chain is you're going to single crochet 3 into each of the chain spaces. So nice and simple, just work your way down 3 single crochets in each chain space. All right, here we are at our corner. So we're going to do our single crochet 3 into chain space, chain 1, single crochet 3 into the chain space. Then along the side one, you're going to single crochet 3 into the chain space, like so. And then one more corner where you do 3 single crochets, chain 1, 3 single crochets, and then you'll just work along the other edge, 3 single crochets in each chain space until you reach the next corner. All right, we're at our last corner. So just going to single crochet 3, chain 1, and single crochet 3, and then we'll slip stitch into that first single crochet. So there we are. Where is it? Here. And so that is the border, and then I'll go over adding one more round as it is in the pattern, but from here you can kind of, if you're doing your own design, do what you want. What I did there is I'm going back to the last single crochet because I want to do a color change. So I'm going to bring in my yellow. And I'm going to finish that single crochet and then do my slip stitch into that first one, like so. Okay, and again, I should qualify. And this is if you're doing either just the regular belt or the sunflower headband. Otherwise, you would finish off there and join in the corner chain 1 if you're doing the belt band for the cardigan. So I would go over that, but I think you all are smart people. You understand that, and it's pretty simple to do. So from here, you're going to single crochet all the way up the side of the band. I'm going over my tails a bit to secure them until we hit that chain 1 space. So here I'm hitting it. I'm going into that chain 1 space. I'm going to single crochet 2 into it, chain 1, and then single crochet 2 more into that chain space. There we go. And then you're going to single crochet all the way down your band on the long ways until you hit the next corner. All right, I've worked all the way across the band, and if you, again, I should reiterate, if you're doing this as the belt band for the Cottage Sunflower Cardigan, you would end by just single crocheting 1 into the chain space. You would just be doing a single crochet all the way along here and all the way along here, not doing the sides. But since I'm showing you this for the headband, you are continuing around the sides or for just a belt. So you're going to single crochet 2 in the corner space and then chain 1 and then single crochet 2 in the corner space, just like we did at the beginning there. Then you're going to single crochet all the way down the side of the band. Till you reach the next chain 1 space, which is our corner. Okay, there I'm working into my chain 1 space. I'm going to single crochet 2, chain 1, then single crochet 2. And now I'm going to work all the way along the length of the headband. And just single crochet all the way down until we meet our last corner. All right, I'm at my last chain 1 space. So we're going to do our corner with our single crochet 2, chain 1, single crochet 2, and then just single crochet into those last stitches. Whoops, catching yarn where I shouldn't. And then slip stitch into the first stitch. And then in the case of the headband, what I would continue to do with this yarn, unless you want to swap to doing a green or a brown tie. I would slip stitch one more to get it centered and then do a chain or an I-cord here. But for the sake of this tutorial, there are plenty of tutorials to show you how to do a crochet I-cord. So I'm just focusing on the band for this. So this is what it looks like. And I don't have a good outro, so here's a quick clip to conclude the video. I hope that was helpful to you. If you have any questions, let me know and tag me on Instagram and share your work there.